First of all, welcome, and what does this mean to you going into the Hall of Honor?
Well, I think the message originally came from Pat about, 2 years ago, Pat. And it's just amazing. I mean, to be noticed by a university like St. John's it's pretty special.
Now, we heard you transferred in from Iowa State, and you became a fixture in the program and contributor right away. Why do you think you were able to move into the top spot and become the diving athlete you were and win the championships and All-American honors you did?
My parents would say I got a screw loose, maybe. I'm the third of 4 children. Our family was a football family. I was actually originally supposed to go to St. John's to play football. I've got Tommy Deters sitting at the table and Jeff Deters, who are all alumni. Or, I'm sorry, Jeff is an alumni, Tommy's a senior this year. Nice interception, Tommy. So I did well my senior year in diving. I had no intention of diving in college. And being an 18-year-old with not a lot of maybe common sense at the time, I made the financial decision to take a D1 scholarship, pass up on St. John's and playing football, and quickly realized that it was not a great decision. I made it to Iowa State, and it was an incredible experience. I learned a ton, but I wasn't maybe cut out for a Division I sport at 6-7 hours a day, and they quite frankly weren't paying me enough, and I wasn't enjoying my time. So I picked up the phone. I called Pat. I think this was Thanksgiving. My freshman year Thanksgiving. I called Pat and I said, I'm thinking of coming to St. John's. Within an hour and a half, Pat said, you're on Tommy 2. Here's your roommate. And when can you come?
Closed the deal right there, didn't he?
Yeah, it sounded a lot like Gagliardi. So.
Well, it's nice that the door was open, and you knew that you, if it wasn't working out at Iowa State, you had a home at St. John's.
I did, and I came here after Christmas break, and because at the time when you go from Division I to Division III, you don't have to sit out. So I jumped right into diving, and it was awesome. Apart from the national meet in, was it Maine, Pat? I think we were at. We showed up, and as Pat had mentioned in the video, my degree of difficulty was higher than most. And in diving, for those of you who don't know much about diving, it's all about how hard the dives are, because the harder they are, the higher you score. So I brought in a whole different skill set of dives, and of course on my favorite dive, I jumped about 20 feet out in the pool, which is not good in diving. And I failed my dive in the finals, so I kind of blew the national title that year, but great lessons learned.
Well, as I understand it, you didn't even know where you stood in the standings when you were a junior, and so you took to the board, and then you popped out of the water afterward, and you kind of figured it out that, hey, things were working well for you. What do you remember about that moment?
When I popped my head out of the water, all I remember is hearing Pat screaming. Pat knew. To his credit, he taught me more than anything is just kind of stay in the moment. Don't get ahead of yourselves. Pretend it's a regular practice. So I didn't focus at all about the score or the place. Just got to do your job.
And you did, exceptionally. Hey, I understand it's a special weekend for the swimming and diving program. Big reunion. What's that been like this weekend?
Well, it was my first meet that I've ever attended as an alumni, which I'm a little embarrassed to say. But I showed up, and I thought it was going to be more of maybe an event around the alumni, but it was actually pretty awesome because people are old and young are swimming against each other. I thought but my kids were actually prompting me to get up on the board, but I decided I don't want to kill myself, so I opted out.
Might be a good call. Well, but it is your night, so congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's have a nice round of applause for our newest inductee, John Deters.